Welcome back to our weekly patch review for XDefiant. This is getting to be too much. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and today XDefiant dropped a surprise patch in that we knew what was coming, just not when. They called it an emergency patch. I'm going to call it a band-aid, because surely they will have more changes to some of the things that we'll discuss in this patch. But before we get into that, you may have noticed a slightly different intro, and that's because I started freelancing some work for my channel, testing out some new intros, so let me know in the comments your feedback on that intro that you just saw, and who knows, you might just be shaping the future of this channel as it continues to grow. But anyway, back to the reason why you're here. We got a new patch today, and the biggest chunk of it, we knew it was coming, just didn't know when. I expected it to be on Tuesday, like most games, but they got to it a day sooner, which isn't a bad thing. So patches seem to be a weekly thing, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when they come so quickly and frequently, I have to question the thought that goes into what's being done in these patches. And they also lack substance. Like, this one only has a couple things that were fixed, one of which was broken from the last patch, and another is just basically reverting changes back to how it was before that last patch. So really, this patch only addressed one new issue. Let's start by talking about the biggest news here, and that's the updated weapon XP system, in which your primary weapon will now only need 1500 XP to level up. Secondary weapons will need 500 XP. This is a huge W for the community, mostly the casual players who don't spend hours upon hours grinding this game, and can now achieve the gold skins that most of us already had. Now, when the game first came out, the primary weapons took 3500 XP to level up, which was just absolutely fine. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with that, because it made getting the gold skins feel like an accomplishment. The only problem with that entire system was that getting attachments was a little bit too stretched out, and it was taking too long for players to level up the weapon high enough to get those attachments. Now, I have a whole other video going over my thoughts on this, so I'm not going to dive into all of that again here, but this system compared to how it was when the game launched is very similar, especially when it comes to the gold skin, because you used to get the gold at level 100, but now it's 200. But you also used to get a level every 3500 XP, and now it's 1500 XP. So it's a really small change, and you get attachments and mastery skins about 14% faster, which is almost exactly how it was after the last patch they dropped when they lowered it by 500 XP per level anyway. Now, I'm sure y'all have seen that video floating around on the internet where the guy has a bunch of different shapes and a box with different shaped holes, and they just start putting all the different shapes into the square hole. That's right, the circle goes into the square hole, because they can all fit if you turn it the right way. Well, that's exactly what this feels like to me. We're just getting the same outcome, just doing it different ways. But let's wrap up these patch notes here. They did add back the kill confirmation sound that went MIA from the last patch, and I'm so glad, because this might be the only thing worth being excited for, because I know there have been so many times where I would shoot at someone and then move off of them to shoot the next person because they should have been dead, or at least I thought they should have been dead, but they weren't. So that kill confirm sound is something that you don't even realize you need until it's gone. They also fixed getting stuck if you died while spamming melee. Now, I don't melee. In fact, I melee when I don't even want to melee, and I've wrestled with this on every FPS game I've ever played to the point where I almost just want to unmap melee from my controller. It honestly gets me killed more than it gets me kills to begin with. But that's it for the patch notes. It was super quick and light this week. I think what's a little bit more interesting is looking through the comments and tweets on Mark Rubin's profile, and you can get a glimpse into what else they're working on. So we can see here that they're apparently working on a classic prestige system, which I'm assuming means for your level, or maybe your gun's level as well. Once you reach a certain level, you get a little badge showing everyone that you're a tryhard, and it resets your level back down to 1. And also a ping system, which is something I've been asking for since the start. And I was actually kind of surprised that this wasn't in the game at launch. Seems like a key mechanic of any FPS that just wasn't there. Overall, I have to say I'm glad with the feedback and that they're listening to the community, but I think they just need to slow down a little bit and put some thought into what's being changed before just changing it. So there you have it, another week of XDefiant patch news. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on all the things being done, and what's the one issue or bug you want to be fixed next. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that subscribe button, as we're getting so close to our 500 subscriber goal, and I appreciate each of you and welcome your feedback. Until next time.